Hello and welcome to another episode of Observation Conversations. My name is Reid, and I'm joined, as always,
Oh, I'm a little too eager.
too eager. My wonderful friend and co-host Jonathan, welcome. How are you today?
I'm doing very well. It's always nice. We're in the middle of the summer now, so it's hot out. It's always nice to get a break from the heat and, you come into the chill zone of the podcast. So this is always very nice.
I like that. Yeah. It's nice being indoors with the AC on, full blast, avoiding that harmful UV rays from the sun.
Yes, indeed.
Like the true gamers we are. Sunlight is our enemy. Now, speaking of gamers, you proposed something to me for what you want to talk about for this episode.
Yes, and so, and I'm just going to give you a quick recap of what we were talking about before we started recording. It's an interesting time because it's June now, and it used to be in the world of gaming. June was always a month that you always had to mark on your calendar because June was the month of E3. E3 was the biggest gaming convention of the entire year, basically, at least in the United States. You've got other big, conventions in other places, Gamescom in Germany and events in Brazil and Japan. But in the U.S., it was always E3. That's always the hallmark. Was always the hallmark. But recently that's changed. It used to be at E3, all the big game studios, they would show up and they would basically roll out, here's what we're putting out in this year, the coming years. This is what we're working on. It's a big showcase, essentially.
Yeah.
And PlayStation would be there, Xbox would be there, Nintendo would be there, Ubisoft would be there, all the big players would be there. But as some of you may already know, and for those that don't know, you're about to learn, the pandemic basically killed all of that off. Nintendo really was the first one to stick the knife in, because they'd been doing their Nintendo Directs for years already, even before COVID-19 hit.
Yeah, I feel like in that regard, it's hard to say that they were sticking the knife in if it's something they were already doing.
Yeah, well, that was the beginning of the end, I think, because Nintendo is obviously a huge name. Nintendo's a huge player. And so when Nintendo started to do their Nintendo Directs, that was really the beginning of the end of, the big players drifting away from E3. And then, of course, the pandemic shut down E3 2020. There were questions, will we see E3 2021? It was up in the air for a long time. Then they ended up canceling that. And then basically we haven't seen it since. It looks like COVID-19 killed off E3 as we know it. But of course, these big companies, they didn't give up on wanting to get the word out about their products, getting their core fan base excited about what's going on. And so PlayStation started doing directs. Then Xbox started doing directs. Ubisoft started doing directs. And then Summer Games Fest is basically this huge catch-all organized by a guy named Jeff Keighley, who's also the organizer of the Game Awards at the end of the year, to cover everyone else who doesn't fit into any of those other big categories.
Yeah.
And obviously with Xbox snapping up some big developers, they've got Activision now, they've got Bethesda. You don't have those big companies, which would usually be their own independent thing. Now they're all under the Xbox umbrella. So now
it's the Disney of gaming.
It really is becoming like that. It really is becoming that way in a lot of ways.
I do find it funny too that there seems to be no kind of creativity when it comes to naming conventions anymore. Mm-hmm. Like with all the streaming services, it's Disney Plus and ESPN Plus and Hulu Plus and it's all plus. And with these showcases, it's all Xbox Direct, PlayStation Direct, copying Nintendo. I just think that's so funny and also so sad.
Yes, indeed. And so, so that's basically what the landscape is now. It's all basically just direct-to-consumer showcases and pre-produced, pre-recorded videos, essentially, saying, this is what we're doing. Some of them do still include stage show elements, like Summer Games Fest does have, a big physical stage in an auditorium, and they, pack it full of fans, and, that's a big show. But for the most part, like Nintendo, that's 100% just a pre-recorded video.
Yep.
And so that's basically what the landscape is now. And if you want to know what all the biggest announcements are in gaming, where E3 would normally be, that's where you have to go to get that news. And so recently in the past few weeks, all the big shows have happened. Summer Games Fest, Ubisoft, PlayStation, and Xbox all had and Nintendo just had their big show yesterday. So they've all put their big shows out. Now we're able to compare. Who had a good show, who had a lackluster show, what are we excited about, what are we not excited about. And you and I think I know we've talked about this before. We're Xbox guys, we're Xbox gamers, and we both have Game Pass. I think it's safe to say, I'm very happy with the value that I'm getting from Game Pass. Game Pass is an incredible value. How do you feel about Game Pass?
I feel good about it. It's something that I feel like I don't take full advantage of. But this is also coming from the guy who, only played GTA 5 for like 4 years straight
Sure,
and just never ventured out into getting any other games.
Absolutely.
Like the first Call of Duty I owned was Cold War. That is like a weird place to jump into the franchise, but
sure.
So I do feel like I'm a little biased, but I have been branching out into other games, and considering that it's like Live used to be like $10 a month.
Yeah.
And Game Pass is like 15.
Yeah. Basically, Game Pass Ultimate, which has Live included.
Yes. So like for an additional $5, and you're getting like this insane library of games, especially now that includes like I think Bethesda was part of it, or was that Valve? Yeah, Bethesda.
Yeah, Bethesda. Yeah.
And like a bunch of others. I'd say it's definitely worth it. I will say I've never been an Xbox loyalist. I think the main reason I got an Xbox was because you already had one.
Sure.
And I wanted to play play a lot of the same games as you. But now that crossplay is becoming a bit more standardized, I think it's doesn't matter as much which console you get.
Sure.
So the debate is really, do I want these like PS5 exclusives, or do I want this insane library of Xbox games?
Absolutely. Yeah, and likewise, of course, I'm the same way in a lot of ways. I also tend to stick to, the games that I know, the games that I like. I don't do a ton of branching out beyond that. But there are so many new games that I have given a chance to, and that I have tried because of Game Pass, that I never even would have looked at otherwise. And I think that's the magic of it, is that, you don't have to commit. Once you buy a game, that's it.
Yeah.
Refunds can be, especially digital refunds, can be such a hassle that, once you've bought a game, that's basically a commitment. With Game Pass, I could literally pick it up, play it once, and if I'm not vibing with it, I could just delete it, and that's the end of that. And if I do love it, then great, I just got a new game for the price that I was already paying for anyway. So
yeah,
it's an incredible value in that way. Right now I'm playing Star Wars Squadrons on Game Pass, and I can only do that because of Game Pass, and that's actually been a really fun game. And other games that I've tried, Fallout games that I've tried, Fallout 4 and Fallout New Vegas that I've tried because of Game Pass.
I need to get into Fallout. Yeah.
Exactly. So, it's been a great value for me, and also the cloud gaming thing. Yeah, it's not perfect. I know, just the whole cloud gaming thing, because it's the same thing on PlayStation. It's still a work in progress. It's not perfect yet, but me still having an Xbox One, I'm able to play, Xbox Series X exclusive games through cloud, like Microsoft Flight Simulator. That's a ton of fun. I'm a huge aviation nerd, so and that's a Series X exclusive thing. And so even though it's definitely an intensive game to be playing on an Xbox One, I have that option, and that has been something that I've had fun with. So.
My room is getting really smoky. I don't know.
Yeah, no, my console hasn't exploded yet, thankfully. So, and listen, I'm under no illusions. This is going to be my last year with the Xbox One. Obviously, we've talked about this before. GTA 6 is coming out next year, 2025. And so, obviously, like everybody, I'll be upgrading for that. that's going to be the biggest game of the decade, for Christ's sake. So, I'm going to be upgrading for that. So this is my last year. This is my swan song for the Xbox One. But it still works fine, honestly. And because of Game Pass, the vast majority of the games that I want to play, I can still play, which is huge for me, really. So I think it's been a great value. And so, anyway, to bring this back to why we're here, we're both Xbox guys, and I've heard very good things, very strong reviews about the Xbox Games Showcase this year. Happened about a week and a half ago. And, the consensus that I've heard from all of the sources that I've followed is this has been the best show of the year. You know, PlayStation was kind of lackluster, Ubisoft was kind of lackluster. Summer Games Fest is, you know, I mean, it's all right, but it's just a huge catch-all for everything. Yeah. But Xbox really had the best show of the year, and I haven't even watched this yet myself. And so I thought, let's watch it together for the first time, and give you our live real-time reaction to what's coming out in the world of Xbox in the coming years. So, shall we get started?
Let's just jump right into it.
Let's do that. So here we go. Let me pull this up. Oh, hold on. Gotta make sure we get the audio. That's important. Okay. Are you able to see that all right?
Yep.
Very good. All right. Well, then, without further ado, let's get started. What do we have first here?
Almost came in through the back door. Don't trust anyone.
The editing on this is fantastic.
Okay.
Good evening. The Soviet Union is no more. Despite a potential for instability and chaos, these events clearly serve our national interest. Free from the specter of global conflict.
Today we celebrate the mystery of American renewal.
Something's going on. Something big.
I'm a fire starter. Terrific fire starter.
I figured if I stuck around hell long enough, I'd see the devil.
How's he look?
I'm a fire starter. Terrific fire starter.
The agency is compromised. We're being hunted from the inside.
You're the fire starter. Twisted fire starter.
You don't have to trust me, Marshal. But it might be better if you do.
Hey! Something you should see.
What the hell are we getting into? Don't trust anyone.
To a CIA black site. Are you out of your mind?
Things got complicated.
Okay.
May God continue to bless the United States of America.
You just got a first look at the campaign for Call of Duty Black Ops 6.
Good.
Yeah.
Set in the 1990s after the Cold War ends, where the truth isn't what it seems. It's an honor to stand here representing the creative teams at Activision. And please stay tuned after the showcase, where we will take you inside the studios to hear directly from Treyarch and Raven, who are working on Call of Duty Black Ops 6. You'll get a 25-minute deep dive into the story and a sneak peek at multiplayer and zombies.
Zombies is back.
It's been 10 years since Call of Duty has been in our show. It's been even longer since all Call of Duty players got the same game at the same time. Going forward, everyone will experience the game, including the Black Ops 6 beta, the season expansions, and the updates at launch. There are currently over 100 million people who play Call of Duty every month. We hope to grow that community by making Black Ops 6 the first Call of Duty game that will be available in Game Pass.
That's what I'm talking about.
So no matter where you choose to play, everyone is welcome to experience Call of Duty Black Ops 6 on October 25th. I'm incredibly excited for today's show. I'm standing here thinking about all the passion that has gone in to making this show what it is.
Definitely smart to open with Call of Duty.
To share the latest efforts from our partners around the world.
Oh, yeah.
Especially with all the things they're bringing
from our own creative teams at Activision, Bethesda, Blizzard,
Call of Duties
and Xbox Game Studios, who are doing.
I mean, you can see here. I mean, they just showed it. I mean, just look at the studios that they've snapped
Blizzard,
up.
and Xbox Games.
I mean, Activision, Bethesda, Blizzard. I mean, that's huge.
Studios.
3 huge players.
Who are doing what I believe is some of their best work ever. And now I get to introduce something that is special to me. As someone who has played games for as long as I have, it's amazing that I get to set up this world premiere.
This guy,
thank you all for joining us.
I don't know if it's like the teleprompter or what,
and
but like he pauses for just like a second too long every time.
Oh yeah, well, I'm sure he's got a teleprompter.
So at this point, if Microsoft continues at their current rate, the Xbox Showcase will just become the new E3 because it'll be every smaller company showcasing their work.
It could be. Now, this is Bethesda. I'm curious what this is. We'll talk more about Black Ops 6, but this does. Could this be Elder Scrolls, do you think?
Maybe. It looks too sci-fi for that.
Oh, no.
Is this Doom? That has got to be Doom.
I think you're right.
Yep.
Oh yeah, it's Doom.
Is that grinding up a skull into bone bullets? Oh my god. Have you played any of the Doom games?
I haven't played any of the new ones, but they are all on Game Pass.
Yeah, because it seems like the appeal of it is just being able to like hack through enemies continuously.
Oh yeah.
Which to me doesn't appeal as much as a first-person shooter, because it seems like less of a challenge and more just like a run and gun type of thing.
Okay. So I think that's going to be probably a follow-up, because there was some Machine Games is the one that have made the new Doom games, and they've all been extremely well received. Doom, Doom Eternal, and now this one, The Dark Ages. Yeah. And I've never personally played any of them, but I've heard only good things. I mean, especially Doom Eternal. People love Doom Eternal, so that's very interesting. Big Doom fans.
I wonder if that means there's a new Animal Crossing coming out too.
And also, I just want to say, the Machine Games recent series that I have played is Wolfenstein, because they also did the new Wolfenstein games, and those are really good too, and I have played those. All right, what is this?
We all knew the risks when we ventured out beyond the gates. But you helped us make something greater than the fear.
Is this DayZ, do you think?
Could be. And I'm kind of thinking about, there was this like demo I saw a number of years ago that showed this kind of zombie game that actually had like these horde mechanics. And I don't know if that ever went anywhere.
Was that World War Z?
I don't think so, no. I think it was like an independent thing.
Yeah, I did actually play World War Z, also on Game Pass, by the way. And that was pretty fun, I will say. I did have a good time with that.
There's something just very satisfying about zombie games where you get to like work with a squad of friends and
definitely
try to outlast.
And that's helped us find the courage to keep going.
Gameplay wise, this looks a lot slower though.
When we needed it the most. I didn't know you well. But we'll keep your memory alive.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what this could be from.
Every sacrifice
Maybe it's something new.
make matters.
Oh.
And will never be forgotten. No one is forgotten. We live on.
State of Decay. Okay.
This is a series I've not heard of before.
Yeah, I have heard of it. I've never played it, but looks interesting though. They're doing a new one, State of Decay 3. Okay.
Not looking good, old friend. This'll take more than you and me.
What are you thinking?
We need someone to be our eyes and ears in the shadows.
And someone to bring a little darkness to the daylight.
We're going into the Fade, aren't we?
And digging up a lot of buried secrets.
What about Darkspawn?
Yeah. Someone who will stand between us and a pack of demons.
You know there will be dragons.
Right.
And dungeons?
Someone with fire in their blood.
Well, that's a dungeon hunter, apparently.
One more thing. This crew needs a leader. Someone we can count on. Someone that the world can count on. But where are we gonna find, huh?
Dragon Age. Okay. Never played Dragon Age, but I know it does have some very committed fans.
Was that like an MMORPG?
You know,
or was
honestly,
it just like a RPG?
That's a good question. I'm not that familiar with Dragon Age, but I don't know. I mean, it looks like it could be like a fun Dungeons and Dragons type RPG type thing.
We have received a distress call of unknown origin.
Oof, yes.
There is no record of a star station in this orbit.
I got really into Starfield, so this is exciting for me.
I was gonna say, you look excited, so.
Yeah, I've like finished all the main story missions except for one. So if this is some kind of DLC, that'll be great.
Coming aboard was a mistake.
I think you're right. I think this is Starfield.
Well, I saw the caption that said Starfield intro playing.
Oh, I see.
So
I missed that.
And choose your words carefully. They will determine how long you live.
But you can also tell based on the graphics too.
Yeah,
at the very least, it's a Bethesda game.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. I haven't been able to play Starfield yet, but I know you've got really into Starfield, so.
Yeah.
Can you feel its embrace encircling your heart? Constricting until there is no more you. Only us.
Starfield Shattered Space. Ooh, coming this year.
Yeah.
I'm from the Trackers Alliance. We have a proposal for you.
I wish you the best of luck.
Damn, I'm gonna have to update my game.
Yeah. Yeah, at some point, I definitely want to hear more about your Starfield experience, since you've played through that.
Yeah. I have to say, Shattered Space doesn't. As a title, it's a bit much, I feel like.
Mm. Starfield Shattered Space. I mean, there's definitely alliteration there.
Yeah.
In the 10th consecutive hour of our Vault-a-thon 76 drive.
All right, Fallout 76.
Oh, it looks like we've got one.
Harry's on from Skyline Valley. He's sending the whole family to Vault 76.
How about that? Skyline Valley. Beautiful country. Right in the heart of Shenandoah.
Oh, Shenandoah, I hear you calling.
Call now to join Harry and the over 17 million Vault dwellers already on board. And let's keep those numbers climbing.
Got 4 on the line from AVR Medical Center.
Vault 76 is a growing community, and strong community can weather any storm. Why, just take a look at our Skyline Valley neighbors in Vault 63. The greatest scientific minds are hard at work, cooking up shocking new ways to protect and preserve this Appalachian Eden. Yes,
I have to say, Fallout 76 really has changed a lot from when it first came out. It's really grown, and it's got a quite dedicated pool of players now. People seem to really like it now.
I mean, it was kind of a total flop when it first came out, right?
I mean, it was a disaster when it first came out, but now people seem to really like it.
It's kind of like the No Man's Sky story.
It is, in a lot of ways, yeah.
Call now.
I think watching the show is definitely what's going to get me to try the games.
Still not sold?
Oh, likewise.
I'm like halfway through right now.
I suppose having skin is not for everyone. Best of luck out there.
All right, that's out now.
World premiere.
Soon she'll wake and paint again. Paint a new number, ticking down every year. One stroke, and everyone of that age vanishes into nothingness. Every year she paints again, and every year an expedition departs for the continent with one hopeless mission: destroy the paintress so she can never paint death again.
interesting premise.
We'll break the cycle, so she can't steal anyone else's future.
This world is full of wonders. Yet everywhere we go, we walk with death. You mean we're the only ones left?
You know what I'm getting from this? This is turn-based Elden Ring. That's what this is.
Yeah, that's kind of what it looks like, and also like not as dark.
Yeah.
I say that as soon as I see that image, but
I mean, it does look original. I'll say that.
yeah, I mean the world building is interesting, but I've never been into like turn-based combat games, and also like this is kind of cynical to say, but like, you know, every year she draws a new number that ticks down, and everyone that age like dies. You know, one, it's kind of a problem you can get around, where it's like, if you know what the number's at, you know, you can know what years people are gonna die and just don't have children that year.
I guess so, yeah.
But also, like, if you think about it, it's also a problem that kind of solves itself, you know? Because, like, you know, once she gets to 0, that's kind of it. People stop dying regularly. So, like, you only have to deal with it for another, like, 33 years.
Yeah, I guess that's
true. You know.
That's two-toe Tom. Big gator. I gotta drop you off fast.
After I got you out of that tree, you said you helped me find my mom.
I love the animation style. I saw a trailer for this game a while ago.
I'm all ears.
There's a church up a ways with a big bell. Go on and bring it.
You want to make him come running?
Tom can't abide the sound of the bell. Some church folks once tried to dynamite him, and he didn't take that too kindly. If you ring that bell, he might skedaddle.
You better not skedaddle.
Go on now, scoot.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with what this is. Do you know what this is?
I don't remember the name of it, but it's a like New Orleans inspired fantasy game type of thing.
Gotta move quickly now.
That's a weird choice of gameplay to showcase, though, where it's like just running.
Yeah, well, hopefully something interesting will happen soon.
Yeah, as far as gameplay trailers go, it's not.
It does look almost like a Telltale type thing, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I can see that, the style of it. It's definitely more sophisticated graphics for sure, but.
Oh yeah.
Time to find that church. There it is. Now to get over there.
It seems like the world is built as if it's open world, but then it's expected to be played super linearly.
Yeah.
That's the impression I'm getting so far, which is not.
Not a true open world, of course.
Yeah, it kind of defeats the purpose. South of Midnight, yeah.
Yeah, I hadn't heard of that one, honestly. It looks interesting. South of Midnight.
I think, yeah. Again, it's one of those situations where I think the like lore seems really interesting, but the gameplay looks
maybe not anything you haven't seen
basic.
before.
Yeah,
nothing
it's
you haven't seen
unfortunate.
before.
The style is really nice.
Definitely. Uh-oh. What does Blizzard have for us?
In darkness, she slumbers and dreams. And for countless generations, mortal heroes have risen to defend her.
Why do I get World of Warcraft vibes from this?
Well, Blizzard is World of Warcraft.
Oh, that is true. Yeah. This might actually just be World of Warcraft.
It could be, yeah.
Though they fought amongst themselves.
Yeah, this absolutely is. I don't know how they keep that game going.
It's incredible.
Because it doesn't seem like people are continuing to sign up for it. I'm like, unless it's like maybe it is like a subscription type thing.
Yeah, I mean, it seems to have an enduring appeal.
It's an MMO.
Yeah, the people who are playing it have been playing it for years, and they seem to love it. So more power to them.
Never faltered, even upon the very threshold of death. While new hope blooms on the horizon, the final battle draws near. Now, in the darkness, at the very heart of the world, the drums of war thunder once again.
You ever try World of Warcraft or League of Legends or any of those games?
Can't say I have.
Yeah, me neither.
I mean, World of Warcraft is very different from League of Legends.
Oh, sure. I suppose.
WoW is a MMORPG, whereas League is like a little bit more of a strategy game, I guess.
Sure, yeah.
I don't know how you'd describe it, but
Shall be mine.
Yep, there it is. The War Within. So for all you Warcraft players out there, there's something new to celebrate your 15th or 16th year of playing this game.
At least. Jesus. I think that's the tricky part with MMOs, is that like...
Oh, I think this is Metal Gear.
Listen up,
Jack. Your mission is to infiltrate
I think it might be right.
the Soviet mountains, ensure the safety of Sokolov.
Ooh, this is exciting.
Your code name for this mission
It is.
Snake. I'll be referring to you as Snake from now on.
Naked Snake.
The clock is ticking. This will be a sneaking mission. You must not be seen by the enemy. You must leave no trace of your presence. Is that clear? This kind of infiltration is the Fox unit's speciality. In other words, weapons and equipment to procure on site. That goes for food as well. You're completely naked, just as your name implies.
I have to find my own weapons and equipment? Whose crazy idea was this anyway?
The mission rests entirely in your hands.
A real one-man army. Freeze. Speak.
He's not so good at the stealth stuff, is he?
Well, he's solid Snake. He can do whatever he wants. He can do stealth. He can do shoot him up. Okay. Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater. I'm very excited for that. I don't remember. Do you remember if Kojima's still on this, or I think he's just doing his Death Stranding stuff now? But
yeah, I think so. I don't think so. I don't think he's on this.
But still, it's exciting getting a new Metal Gear game.
It's funny as someone who like enjoys taking the stealth approach in like pretty much every kind of game I play.
It's true.
I really should play Metal Gear. So this might be the perfect opportunity.
Yeah, and here's another one for us.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Oh, hell yeah. Yeah, Reid and I, we're both big Sea of Thieves fans, and so, you know, it's always exciting when we get our big Sea of Thieves updates, and that's a big one.
Yeah.
We have to try that.
Yeah, I'm excited for that. That's great because, you know, Captain Flameheart stops being a floating head in the sky.
Yeah.
And now it's like an actual character.
Yeah, he's now finally showed up on the physical map.
Yeah, after like years. Yeah.
Exactly, yeah. I tell you, I would love to pilot that thing. We've got to get on that at some point. It's a world event, they said, right? So.
Yeah, it's a world event.
Yeah, we have to try that.
What is this?
I have no idea, honestly.
That's funny. I've been watching this like professional video game trailer editor on TikTok. And it's like a lot of these trailers really don't follow his advice. It's interesting.
Well, what was his advice?
I mean, it's I can't boil all of it down because it's like a whole series, but like some of the gameplay that these trailers are choosing to show off is like repetitive and doesn't tell any new information, or they're like lore dumping rather than focusing on the actual game itself.
Right.
I don't know, it's interesting.
We return to you now as the gods of mankind.
Okay, this just looks like an ad for an online casino.
Yeah, not familiar with this. Looks like some sort of strategy type thing.
Rulers of the Greeks and the Norse.
The Egyptians and the Atlanteans.
We created mankind to fight for our glory. So rise and wield my wrath.
Command beastly chaos.
Command beastly chaos.
Rain down destruction.
Repeating footage. What?
And unleash our fury.
Worship me. Claim my power.
And legend
will be yours.
To be completely honest, this fully looks like a mobile game.
I'm curious to see what this is. I'm not familiar with this. Age of Mythology. Okay, I mean, it looks like a strategy thing.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I probably won't check it out, but I mean, I do like strategy, so.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard to compete with Civ 7.
Oh, of course, yeah. Which I hope we get to see that teaser again in the show. I'd love to talk about that. I'll probably talk about it anyway, to be honest.
Yeah.
Your target is in possession of a radioactive device. Stop Carrington's attack at all costs. Good luck, Agent.
I always knew I had an instinct. I could see the world differently. I thought it would be like any other mission. I was wrong.
Welcome to Garden City, where it's a pleasant 23 degrees all day, every day.
How far to his last known location?
Local forces are also tracking his whereabouts. You need to find him before they do.
I'll have to improvise.
Generating voice print.
How about this? After each trailer, we'll give it a yay or a nay. That'll be our instant reaction.
Yeah.
So we'll do that from now on.
I'm looking at the screen right now.
Our intel places Carrington on
I think a yay, a nay, and a will play.
Yeah, that's good.
If we think we know, turns out to be a lie. There's only one way forward.
So just to recap what we've seen so far, Black Ops 6 obviously will play.
Yeah.
Sea of Thieves update will play. Metal Gear, yay. Fallout 76, yay. Age of Mythology, probably nay.
Nay.
What was it called? The New Orleans mythology one?
Oh, something after midnight.
Yeah, whatever that was called. Looks interesting, but I'd say a nay for now.
Yeah, I'd give it a yay, but won't play.
Yeah. What else? I think those are the big ones.
Yeah.
So. Oh, and Doom. Doom is a yay. Yeah.
Yeah, Starfield is a will play for me.
Definitely.
I had to lose everything before I could see. What this world was really hiding.
I hope you're ready, Agent Dark.
Oh yeah, and Warcraft. Nay for me, but yay for other people, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Perfect Dark. Okay.
I think it's a yay, but won't play.
Yeah, I would say yay. It's not on my radar necessarily, but that gameplay did look good. So.
Yeah, it looks fun for sure.
Yeah.
It's just not a series I'm invested in at all.
Of a near future war over advanced technology that threatens the lives of millions. We hope you enjoy.
Do we want to watch this, or do we want to skip to the next?
You probably won't be talking for too long. Let's see. Yeah, you won't be talking for 2 minutes or so. So we could talk some more about what we've seen in the meantime then. So yeah, Fallout 76. I definitely do want to check that out now since the series has come out. You said you've been watching it. I've already seen it. That's definitely very much got me excited about the Fallout franchise. So I'll probably check out 76 and the new update at some point. Sea of Thieves, obviously, we're probably going to get into that very soon since I think that's already out. Black Ops 6. So yeah, we'll want to talk about some more about that.
Well, there's going to be more at the end.
The
showcase too.
Oh yeah, I just wanted to give a quick intro to say that Black Ops is my favorite sub-franchise of Call of Duty. It's always been. I think the original Call of Duty Black Ops is my all-time favorite Call of Duty game. Honestly, I adore the original Call of Duty Black Ops. And so I'm very excited that we're getting back to that. We're getting back to putting Treyarch in charge of their signature product. Very excited about round-based zombies coming back. And, it's cool because in the first Black Ops, that was very, 60s, Cuban Missile Crisis, Vietnam, all that stuff. Black Ops Cold War was 80s, early 80s, and doing all of that stuff. And this one's it's like we're going late 80s, early 90s with George H.W. Bush and Bill Clinton, and I think Margaret Thatcher was in the teaser, and that's a whole new phase of things, the end of the Cold War, and even going beyond the Cold War a little bit. So I'm very excited about that. Love the teasers that I've seen so far. Very, very excited. Anything that you wanted to add as we?
Yeah, I'm a little curious as to what you think of the campaign, because that's the main focus of what we've seen so far.
Yeah.
Obviously, at the end of the showcase, they're going to go more into the multiplayer and zombies and stuff. But I remember really enjoying the Black Ops Cold War campaign, and then the Modern Warfare 2 was okay. And then I didn't even bother with the Modern Warfare 3.
I heard it was bad.
Yeah. So I'm wondering what you think.
Which is really too bad, because the original,
good?
Because the original, it really pisses me off, because the original Modern Warfare 3 campaign that came out in 2011, that was so good. I remember I played all the way through that campaign. That was my first ever proper Call of Duty game, was the original Modern Warfare 3. I love that campaign. So it was so annoying that when this Modern Warfare 3 came out, it was such a letdown, because I was honestly willing to try it. I was willing to try the campaign, but I heard it wasn't very good, and so I never bothered with it.
Yeah.
And this is just Diablo, by the way. I don't think either of us are Diablo players, so we can keep talking.
I know nothing about Diablo, so.
So, yeah, I wanted to ask you about Starfield, since we saw something from that earlier. How do you feel about Shattered Space?
Aside from the name being a little campy, I am excited for it, because I feel like I kind of went through all of the main content a little fast. Even though I'm sure I've poured a ton of hours into it. But it sounds like this new content is going to center around the House of Rune, which is this kind of space cult that we hear a lot about, but we never get to actually see. And it's kind of said that they live on the outskirts of space. And don't really integrate with the modern society very well. So being able to actually explore those regions seems really cool. Although unfortunately it doesn't seem like there's going to be too much new content. It seems like it's going to be a new storyline and a bunch of missions, but a lot of the same assets, kind of the regular robot enemies and a lot of the same NPCs, and I don't know if they're going to be adding new aliens and planets. I'm not really sure.
Sure.
Just based off the trailer alone, but
overall, you're looking forward to it.
I'm looking forward to having another storyline to play through. Yeah.
Definitely. And it sounds like you've had a pretty good experience with Starfield since you've played all the way through.
Pretty good. I mean, it is a little infuriating how Bethesda gets to continuously release kind of unpolished games that are just so fucking buggy.
Yes.
And we've just accepted it at this point.
Yeah.
It's that shouldn't be the standard that we're letting them set for themselves. We should be holding Bethesda accountable.
Yeah. And that
for
game should
releasing...
be finished when they're released. Yeah.
Yes. I mean, that's kind of, aside from being buggy, they should also be finished. Yeah, so that's, I'm willing to give Fallout 76 a try. Hopefully that's not also super buggy, but who knows at this point.
Sure.
Because, on one hand, it can be really annoying, but on the other, sometimes some of that bugginess is part of the Bethesda charm.
It is, yeah. But you're right. I mean, it is weird that we do give them a pass.
Yeah.
But, yeah, Diablo, I mean, again, I'm not really super into Diablo, so it's probably a nay for me, but very cool CGI cutscene. I'll give you that. Very cool CGI effects there. So
yeah.
Well, you have come to the right place, because who better to tell you all about them than Perhaps the greatest hero of them all. Yeah? There he is, in all his finery. Cheers. I mean, sure, you get your mega fans.
You are like literally my favourite person.
Your haters.
It's like a fan club, but we hate you.
A haters club.
And the occasional giant toad. For some reason. But it's more than that. It's about the choices you make.
I'm a hero. I should do what I want.
We thought you could save her.
You know, it's your life and death stuff. That's what defines
So it seems like it's trying to be a comedy fantasy game, but it doesn't seem like it's adventurous enough to be a full-out parody, which I think makes it a little bit weaker.
Thought I'd get her out there, make the most of her gift. But you know what it's like when you're young and you have a point to prove. I tell you, this kid, she had it all.
I mean, I definitely want to see more gameplay, but from what they are showing us, it does look good. I mean, I can't deny that.
Terrifying. So, yeah, I knew this girl once who made all the wrong choices.
Humphrey. She's back.
Fable. Okay. You know, honestly,
this place.
I like what they're showing us here. I'm gonna say yay. Yay for me.
I'm gonna say nay until we see more.
Yeah.
Because I'm not seeing anything that really sets this apart.
Oh yeah.
Other than like witty, fun dialogue.
It's true, yeah. I definitely want to see more, but like between that and the other fantasy game that we saw earlier, I'd probably be more likely to play Fable if I'm picking.
Yeah, that is completely fair. I agree with that.
Use this. Make your own rules.
It's my turn.
What is this? Is this a card battler?
Well, this is interesting.
Yeah, I've never seen this. Fragpunk. Okay, so
that's a very cool concept, I have to say.
Yeah, I mean, I'm interested, certainly. We'll see. I'm really curious to see how they're going to work in the card effects into the, live, the real-time gameplay.
Yeah.
There's nothing left for me in the city.
But also, I mean, the reason why I can't say I'm super excited about it is because we already have so many hero shooters. I mean, there's like every big company has their own hero shooter now, so.
It's like the gameplay mechanic that they're using, where you like kind of change up the rules as you go, is really interesting. I don't know if the surrounding game will be enough.
People are really clamoring for another hero.
Yeah, because it doesn't seem like there's really any story. It's just like a bunch of wacky characters, and it's like Overwatch 3 essentially.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen it before.
I will fight and find meaning and beauty out here. Some will say that in the dead of winter, a small city house doesn't stand a chance. Maybe so, but I must keep believing.
I will say I do like the idea of an entire game being made out of Quentin Blake illustrations. I think that's a very fun idea, at least.
Yeah.
Interborough. Okay, that's like a fun indie thing. That's
Yeah.
fine, I think. I'd say yay. I'll say yay. Why not?
I'd say yeah. Yay, not play.
Yeah, yay, but not play.
World premiere.
World premiere.
My mixtapes bend others to my will. It's a strange, almost cosmic talent.
Go back to a time where summers lasted forever, when friendships were unbreakable, and any trouble was good trouble.
This year, I want to ride a flaming stallion of delinquency.
That's the spirit.
I love the art.
Comes
Yeah.
an adventure, a lifetime in the making.
I want to ride a flaming stallion of delinquency. I'll have to use that.
Sneaking out, making out, avoiding the law, and maybe something a little more.
Hey, can I stand up?
Yeah, little Rockford, go nuts!
Set to the soundtrack of a generation.
What are we gonna think of ourselves in 10 years?
I'll just remember to tell myself.
Well, it seems like the music is really a very big part of this whole.
Yeah, it's like a story game that uses the nostalgia of soundtrack.
There have been.
Which is, of course, ironic because all the people who actually have nostalgia for that music are like 40 or 50 now. So, if you were a teenager in the 80s, then you're probably going to be in your 50s now. So,
Yeah.
So they're not playing the game anyway. But
I am getting Life is Strange vibes though,
sure.
and that had an amazing story. So I feel like that one is a yay.
Yeah, sure. I mean, a nay for me, but I mean, I can see the appeal.
I think this is
Yeah, Flight Simulator.
Yeah.
I tell you what, when I do get the Series X, when I do upgrade, I'm very excited to play Flight Simulator at the full graphic settings. Because it's just not the same when you're doing cloud gaming. When you can play it with the full native graphics, that's going to be really cool.
Yeah. That'll be gorgeous. So what does the actual gameplay look like? Because I haven't tried Flight Simulator.
So here's the
Are there
cool
missions?
thing.
Is there a story, or is it just you get to fly a plane?
So here's the really cool thing about the current Flight Sim, is the way they render the cities. They use the Bing Maps, real 3D graphics and modeling to actually create realistic cityscapes. They look exactly like the skylines of all the big cities.
Yeah.
And not just the big cities, but the suburbs too, the outlying areas. I mean, everything. I mean, it's basically, using big maps to recreate the entire world, and it looks really, really good, and it looks photorealistic in that way. And so, yeah, you're flying around, but the cities look real, the environments look real. I mean, everything is incredibly, photo authentic and tactile in that way, and that's what's really cool. I mean, obviously what you're doing is flying, but what you get to do is explore the world in that sense, really. So that's a big part of the appeal.
Gotcha.
So yeah, you can see not just the cities, but the rivers, the mountain ranges, all of that, the oceans, everything is modeled accurately. So
I don't know whether I would want to fly the biggest possible plane I can, or a super fast jet.
Yeah, so that's a definite yay for me. Yay and will play eventually. Yeah. When I upgrade, will play. When I upgrade, I will play that.
Yeah, that's a yay for me. I don't know if I can play it because I don't have enough storage space at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, you can always try cloud. If you're just curious and you want to just try it once, I would say do it on the cloud. I will say I do like the song "We Belong," so I'll give it that. I like the trailer music at least.
Yeah. Definitely seems like the trailer is meant to appeal to Elder Scrolls players and not anyone looking to get into the game.
Oh, yeah, no, this is very much inside baseball here.
Yeah.
I mean, do you think we're going to see something from Elder Scrolls 6? Because, I mean, you have to remember, they first announced that way back in 2018. They put out that first and that announced teaser for Elder Scrolls 6. And we're still waiting to hear. Now that Starfield is out, we're still waiting to hear where that's at.
I mean, at that point, it may have been canceled.
I swore.
Oh, no, they're still making it. Yeah, no, it would definitely be big news if they canceled it. That was always the next thing. We're doing Starfield first and then Elder Scrolls 6. And it's been 6 years since we heard about that at E3 2018.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair,
in the woods.
If you compare that to, like, GTA 6...
Yeah, but that's
you
GTA.
Know, like I mean, yeah.
I mean, GTA is literally, at this point, GTA is a once-in-a-console generation event, you know, literally of the decade. We'll be lucky if we get one new GTA game a decade, and that becomes the game of the decade. I mean, that's just what it is now, so, like, that I understand. We already know.
Can I still hear?
We already know. I think this is, like, Life is Strange or something like that.
Yeah, it is.
But which you know, Emmanuel, our friend who's been on the show before, he's a Life is Strange guy, so maybe this is what he's looking forward to. But yeah, you know, I think that, you know, we already know GTA 6 is going to be the biggest game of all time. It's the most expensive game to produce of all time. It's literally $1 billion game. I mean, what Rockstar is doing to put this game together since 2013 when GTA 5 came out is unbelievable. So we already know it's the most expensive game of all time, and like its predecessor, it's almost certainly going to be the new highest grossing game of all time. And so it's huge, you know, literally it's the one game that for me, you know, it's the one game that can get me to not just get the game, but buy an entirely new console just to play it. Like, I mean, I don't know what other franchise is doing that for me at this point. It's just GTA. So... But yeah, Life is Strange, not for me, but Emmanuel will probably like it.
Yeah.
Are you sure you want to investigate these things?
Oh yeah, the Indiana Jones.
Yeah. I am such a big Indiana Jones fan. I loved all the movies.
What are you going to do?
This
Even
one
the fourth and fifth one.
Yeah, I mean, I like them all, honestly.
Deep connection to something in the past. Boss believes they hold a kind of power. A discovery that could change the world.
What were you doing out there?
Fresh air.
We have to find the stones, Gina. Or they will. If you were to draw a line through these ancient sites around the globe, you'd get a perfectly aligned circle.
The Great Circle.
Exactly.
I intercepted the Morse code coming from the Himalayas.
Where Voss is sending all of his men.
Honestly, this game might be worth playing just for the music alone.
Battleship? Yep. Let's get a closer look.
Gotta find Stone, get off this ship.
What's that in his hands?
What does it say?
Earth something. What was that?
We'd better hide.
Ciao.
Hey!
Hands behind your head.
Love a good German villain for the Indiana Jones series.
Where's the stone, you American rat?
Which Machine Games knows very well with their Wolfenstein connection.
Yep.
Höhenangst.
Fear of heights.
Yes! And I have it. I endured this dreadful mountain even if my mind was screaming every step of the way. Because of a concept you narrow-minded Americans will never understand. Devotion. Total and absolute devotion to the fatherland. You have no purpose. What you have is your stupid American cartoons. Choo-choo, choo-choo. You laugh and dance, celebrating your own idiocy and drinking the piss you call beer. I will walk through fire for the devoted men of the Reich. Give me that stone. Now!
Can't give you what I don't have.
I shall search your corpse to make sure.
Please wait.
Give me the stone.
Gina.
We gotta get out of here.
Help me!
The stone! The stone!
Gina!
This is a great trailer because they just fully lead into the cinematic. And now I feel like I'm watching an Indiana Jones movie. I'm just so invested.
Okay, coming this year.
Looks like Great Circle Plus, like Raiders, at least, if not the full.
Okay, so
okay,
yeah,
that's definitely a yay from me.
Yeah, that looked really good. Yeah, that was an awesome trailer. This is a yay. It's a will play because it's on Game Pass.
Yes.
Because it's on Game Pass. Day one. And I'm very excited. The Machine Games connection gives me a lot of faith, certainly. Because, again, they did Wolfenstein. Those were great games. Doom, everybody loves Doom. So I think that this is the perfect studio with the pedigree to do this right. So, yay, will play. Coming this year. I didn't know it was coming this year, honestly. So, Indiana Jones, big thumbs up.
Now, this looks very high octane.
Now, what is this?
Kind of Gundam.
Mobile Suit Gundam?
Must be.
Mecha Break. Interesting. Okay, I mean, a new Gundam game, that's kind of cool. I would say, yay, question mark? You know, I don't have a ton of experience with Gundam stuff, but it looks cool.
I think I'd say yay, probably not. It seems like the type of game I would really enjoy for like a week and then never touch again.
Yeah, I think that's very fair.
But over time, it becomes clear. The gift changes you, slowly consuming every little part of your humanity. I should know. It runs in my blood.
Nothing is forever. Okay.
Interesting.
I mean, it looks cool. I like the monster designs, but honestly, the whole time I watch a trailer like that, or a trailer for a game like that, it just makes me wish. Doesn't make me wish that I could play that game. It just makes me wish that I had the balls to play Elden Ring. Really, is the only thing.
Yeah, for me, I was like, oh, this looks like just like Sekiro.
Yeah. So I mean, looks cool. And nay, because I'm not gonna play it, but it does look cool. I do like the monster designs a lot.
Wild frontier suffers from the dream scourge. Find the root of this terrible plague and put an end to it.
He is wrong. The dream scourge is but a symptom of a deeper, more dangerous rot.
Yeah, this is just a lot of lore dump.
Go. Tame the chaos.
I really dislike stuff like that where it's so where they just like smash a bunch of words together to like try to sound as cool as possible, like the dream scourge.
Yeah.
And it's like that means nothing to me. Like that's.
You must open yourself to its mysteries, tend to its purpose, no matter how wild, and become what the living lands truly needs. Its protector.
Vowed. You know, and I mean, again, it looks cool. If you're into the high fantasy stuff, then I think you're gonna love that. I'm not really super into that.
Yeah.
And so, but yeah, I mean, if you're like really into the high fantasy and all that crazy stuff, I mean, it looks like it would be a fun time. So
it looks cool. It doesn't stand out from any other high fantasy game, especially not that we've seen so far.
Yeah.
But disaster. Now the worst seems to be over. Wiring target.
You know, honestly, with the gameplay we saw at the end, I actually am interested. That does look like it could be interesting. So I'm going to say yay to that. I will keep my eye on that one. Atomfall.
Interesting.
That could be something.
I don't know. For me, that was more of a nay, because it just, I don't know. I can't really put my finger on it.
Yeah, I mean, it reminds me a lot of, remember the game Atomic Heart came out like a year or two ago? Yeah, it's kind of like that, but like a British version of that, it looks like, so.
And like less polished.
Sure, yeah. But it's coming out next year, I think, right? It's like 2025?
That's fair, yeah.
Yeah, so I'll keep my eye on that one. That does look interesting, actually.
They talk of peace and dream of war.
It's gonna have to be Assassin's Creed, yeah.
Our people deserve to be freed of the oppressor's grasp.
Vengeance is a lonely path now, Believe me, there are other ways to heal.
People so quick to abuse their power do not deserve to keep it. There is much we will learn from each other, Yasuke.
You can see when two people fit, when they will be better together.
There is no honor in preying on the weak.
Together, we will bring justice back to the people.
Okay. So let me tell you something about Assassin's Creed Shadows. You know, people have been asking, everybody has been asking for Assassin's Creed Japan for a decade now. Like, I mean, we've been asking for that for so long. And I think it really would have been cool if it had came out sooner. But now that we are finally getting Assassin's Creed Japan, honestly, I'm kind of over it. You know, like I just finished watching Shogun, and honestly, I thought I got my fix out of Shogun era Japan. Like, I don't feel like I need to play a whole game.
I don't know. For me, it's like after watching Shogun, I'm like more invested than I would have been.
Yeah, and well, that's because Shogun is a really good show. So,
yeah, no,
you know,
it's fantastic.
And so, but I don't know. For me, I don't feel like that really translates to an Assassin's Creed Japan game, which we've been asking for a decade. And now it's just like, you know, honestly, I'm kind of over it. So.
No, I think I saw this. Someone like drew up concept art for what it would look like to have a Assassin's Creed game set during like Prohibition.
That would be really cool.
That would be really cool. So I agree. Like the Japan thing has probably lost a little bit of momentum.
Yeah.
But I'm just like, the game now, it looks really cool. I just find it so funny and sad how people are so upset that like the main characters are like a woman and a black guy.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, it's not historically accurate. You're dealing with like magic orbs and like a whole fake history. And also Yasuke was a real person.
He was a real guy. Yeah, there was a real black samurai. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's, I don't know, people are being really petty around that, and honestly, that kind of makes me want to play the game more.
Sure.
Which I think is kind of funny, but I'd say Assassin's Creed is probably a yay won't play just because I haven't ever really gotten into the series, but.
Sure. Yeah, I've played a few of the Assassin's Creed. I played Assassin's Creed Unity. I played a little bit of what's the Greece one? Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Yeah. And so I have played a couple of them. But yeah, no, I think you're absolutely right. Assassin's Creed Japan, Assassin's Creed Samurai. It's been, I'm just kind of over it. It's lost a lot of its momentum. It would have been cool 5 years ago, 6 years ago, but now,
took too long to get to it.
Exactly.
Я ж показав тобі, якою я її бачу. Іди своїм шляхом, і тоді ти зможеш побачити зону по-своєму.
Yeah, I don't really know Stalker that well, so probably an A for me.
Never heard of it.
Yeah.
Looked cool.
We've been honored to
Yeah, I think it's like a Russian or like a Polish production or somewhere
It's
from
in
Eastern
Ukrainian.
Ukrainian, yeah. So that's the one thing I do know about. It's like a Ukrainian production, which that's pretty cool.
Today,
Yeah.
You've seen amazing games from creators around the world, from both our partners and our own studios, from the biggest blockbusters to original independent games. I hope you enjoy the breadth of titles coming to Xbox.
All right, so I think we're getting into our Black Ops 6 showcase now.
We're introducing a new
hello.
all-digital Series X, an expanding color and storage.
An all-digital Series X? I thought the whole thing was that they were keeping the disc drive with the X.
Markets this holiday. These new X and X consoles, alongside the many other devices in our Xbox gaming family, offer you
I guess you're going to be looking into those.
It's our mission.
Yeah, you know.
GTA 6 comes out.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing is that, you know, for a long time I've held on to this idea that I want to, you know, listen, because again, this is a once-in-a-decade investment, buying a new console. You know, since it is a once-in-a-decade investment, you know, you can spare no expense. You know, I know that Series X is like $500, but again, it's like a once-in-a-decade thing. So, you know, sure, you know, you'll suck it up that one time, cough up the money, and then keep that for the next 10 years until, you know, it's time for the next console generation. So, you know, I did want the Xbox Series X. I do want the Xbox Series X. You know, it's a once-in-a-decade thing. I'll go for the top-of-the-line option. But I don't know. I mean, you know, on the one hand, I am sentimental, and I do like the idea of holding on to dear life to that disk drive. But at the same time, even I could admit that, you know, it is going all digital. I can see which way, you know, the wind is blowing. And it's probably inevitable that the next generation, they may just do away with disk drives altogether, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, it looked like they had another, like an updated X that still had the disk drive.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I made the switch to digital, but that was just because the Series S was cheaper. And you know, I did have to buy like a couple games again for the digital copies, but like going forward, you know, it doesn't really matter. And you know, if the games you own on disc then come out on Game Pass, then it really doesn't matter.
Sure.
But it's a tough call for sure.
Yeah, what is your experience performance-wise with the Series S? Because, I mean, I'm not really that familiar. Are there really performance differences between the S and the X?
Well, I wouldn't know the difference between the X and the S because I haven't tried the X. I think the X might have slightly better graphics capabilities. I know it has a lot more storage. But you know, I've recently bought like a storage card to expand my storage, so that's not even an issue.
But performance-wise, it's been pretty good for you.
Yeah, it's been really good. It's definitely better than the one.
Okay.
Because it's you know, faster boot up, faster load times. Yeah, it was definitely worth for me upgrading.
Sure, no, absolutely. So, yeah, you know, I mean, I just figure for me, I could do the S. I mean, obviously saving $100, $200 would be nice, but like I said, I view it as a once-in-a-decade investment. So, as such, I can drop $500 and feel okay because I'm not going to do it again for a decade anyway. So,
I mean, you can probably find a used or refurbished X for a lot cheaper, or you can take advantage of a Black Friday, Cyber Monday deal.
That's true, yeah.
Because if they're releasing kind of new versions of the console, the X as is will be considered old and it should be hopefully discounted.
Yeah. And so I did like the new black color that they just announced for the X. I might get the one in black if that's available. So.